Welcome to New York's #2 sports show. The Yankees get swept at home against the Cincinnati Reds. The Yankees have been winless in the last 6 series and have only won one of their last 8 series. Is this rock bottom? It could be, but to be honest, I don't really see things getting a whole lot better in the interim. Just bad. And it's funny, the Yankees' overall record sits at 54-35, which if I had told you that before the season, that would be great. But the Yankees are 5-14 in the last 19 games. The Yankees were never even tied at any point in this game. Now, I'm not including, obviously, when the game starts at 0-0. But once the Reds took the lead, which they did take that initial lead in all 3 games, which has been a problem for the Yankees. The Yankees have only scored first once in the last maybe 13 or 14 games. It's really, really awful. And the Yankees came close to tying it up in a couple of occasions. They somewhat fought back, but fell short. Just bad stuff all the way around. Offensively, starting pitching, bullpen, we could go on and on. It's against a Reds team that, to be fair, I think their record was probably worse than really the team they are. They're not that bad, but still, absolutely no excuse to be swept at home. And the Yankees have been struggling a lot going in anyway. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing to be positive about. Sure, there's so many different facets that we will touch on some things that are not terrible. But, yeah, I mean, Anthony Volpe moved out of the leadoff spot for the first time since April 9th. And Ben Rice batted leadoff and actually hit his first career home run in Game 3. So that's where we're at right now. And they can't really they're not getting that great starting pitching that they had for the first few months of the season. Not even close to it. And Judge, who had a monstrous Game 1, was, quieted down in Games 2 and 3. And so with that, if he's not doing stuff, it's going to be really hard to win. I mean, and his season's just been nothing short of spectacular. But even still, the Yankees are not finding it easy at all. It's like not only are they losing, but it's like they deserve to be losing. It's not like one of those things, a bounce goes here, bounce goes here. Yeah, sure. Some of the games, like 2 of these losses were by 1 run. And so, yes, you can say that. But I think it's in part because they're just trailing constantly. So, and now, look, the Orioles, they are starting to heat up again. And as I'm recording this, they are on the verge of, I think, potentially trying to go for the sweep versus the Mariners. They won, I think, let's see here. They won the first 2 games of the series in Seattle. Seattle's really struggling, by the way. And as I'm recording this, they're up 2-0 in the 5th. So they are so if the Orioles win, which they might not, there's a lot to go there. They'd be 56-31. And the Yankees are 54-35. That's 4 back on the loss side. They will be 3 games back, 4 on the loss side. I'm telling you. And look, and I think Baltimore is better than the Yankees. I've been saying that for a while now. So, yeah, just not good. And a lot of AL East. For the next month, it's a ton of AL East, which has been specifically a problem to the Yankees. I mean, and beyond that too. But, yeah, it's going to be Red Sox finish out the homestand. And the Red Sox are right in the thick of it and they had a huge series win against the Yankees in Fenway, which is really when this is when things really went south. That was the start of the 6-stretch series here where they've been winless. Then they'll finish out before the All-Star break at the Rays and at the Orioles. And they come out of the All-Star break home against the Rays. I believe a 2-game set with the Mets. Then they go back to Fenway. Then I think a Phillies series. And then to start out August, coming out of the deadline is home against the Blue Jays. So this is the next month is not easy at all as I see it. Like, not even close. It's probably about as tough a stretch as you can have. And I see no signs of them turning this around. I really don't. They need changes. They need trades. They need to shake up because this is bad. And this was their first 3-game sweep of the season. The Met one was a 2-gamer. And as ugly as that was, I had said at the time, in the sense of being swept, I'm not going to make a huge deal about that. That's done. That's totally done. At home against the Reds. Just unacceptable. All right, so let's get into it. As far as any sort of transactions, I don't believe that there were any that took place this series. I think the roster that came in was the roster that came out. So, but anyway, yeah, Reds, Yanks. Graham Ashcraft pitched all right. And really, he's had a very bad season. I mean, he leaves that game with a 5.45 ERA. He wins to improve to 5-4, but Ashcraft does all right. Yankees would kind of eventually get to him in the sixth. And for the Yankees, Luis Gil, the struggles do continue. It was better. I mean, same thing for Rodon the next game. It was better than had been, but still not great. 4 innings, 2 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 3 Ks, and a homer, and 2 hit by pitches. So for Luis Gil, the problem has always been control. It's always been the problem. And that's what's always going to concern me with him is the stuff is elite. It is. We saw how good he was for a long stretch of time. It wasn't just a short sample size, but he drops to 9-4. The numbers are getting worse. And I don't know. He's got to find it. He'll have, presumably a couple more starts before the All-Star break. But yeah, he could probably use a little bit of a breather. But yeah, it's been, even beyond the last 3 starts, I really feel like the last maybe 5 or 6 have not really been great for Luis Gil. And in this game, you still have Volpe batting leadoff. This is your lineup versus righties. It did have Trevino, which made me think that, although, I think they might have said Graham Ashcraft might have been a reverse splits guy. So meaning that righties are better than him than lefties, I think might have been the thought there. And maybe the Trevino catching heel, because at this point, Wells should be getting the lion's share of opportunities over Trevino. And for me, even against lefties, I'm fine with Wells being in there. He's been pretty good. He's a young player. Let him go and let him be the starter and Trevino the backup. That would be my preference, although I understand that there are caveats to that. Anyway, so Yankees, can't get anything going versus Ashcraft. Like I said, until the 6th inning. And Aaron Judge, this was kind of the apex. Judge leaves this game, I'm just going to jump into it now, with a 321 batting average, a 1158 OPS, and 32 homers and 83 RBIs, just like Barry Bonds in his prime type numbers, just like video game stuff. It's fucking ridiculous. So let's just jump to the 4th. And Gil for the first 3 innings wasn't terrible. But Ellie De La Cruz triples, and then Candelario gets an RBI ground out, makes it 1-0 Reds. And then in the 5th is when it unravels. Hit by pitch Stuart Fairchild, then a 2-run homer for Will Benson, his 9th homer of the year, and then a hit by pitch by Jonathan India. And just like that, Gil's day is done. And Caleb Ferguson, who it's kind of, for him to still be on this roster is kind of insane. Although the fact is that half that Yankee bullpen, you could easily argue, is DFA fodder. Seriously. So it's not as if Ferguson's even absolutely the worst, but I would be surprised if Ferguson does last. He's been that bad. And he comes in and Ellie De La Cruz, who's an exciting young player the Yankees saw for the first time. As a righty, he's a switch hitter. As a righty, hits a 2-run homer. His 15th homer of the year makes it 5-0 Reds. And that would be the score. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. Now, I should say Jake Cousins comes in and pitches a scoreless 6th. In the bottom of the 6th is when the Yankees get going. A Judge single, a Verdugo walk, Glaber with an RBI single makes it 5-1, and he actually goes to 2nd on the throw. So it's 2nd and 3rd, no out. Nick Martinez comes in, and Ben Rice greets him with a 2-run double. So Ben Rice with a big hit makes it 5-3, and then this was where LeMahieu comes up and grounds out to the pitcher, and they get Rice out at 3rd. So bad on LeMahieu, not getting him over, but also bad on Rice getting thrown out there. And yeah, they end up, that was it for that inning. That was a big spot. That was a spot to at least cut it to 1, and they can't do it. Tommy Kahnle comes on, and Kahnle's been sharp lately. He is able to pitch a scoreless 7th. And then in the bottom of the 7th, against the lefty Sam Moll, Aaron Judge homers to make it 5-4. So from down 5-0 to 5-4, but that was all she wrote. Now, Luke Weaver does a really nice job, pitches 2 really good innings. And I think they're actually, both of them were 1, 2, 3. Yeah, with 2 strikeouts, no walks, no hits. But then Fernando Cruz, it's the Cruz-Diaz combination. That's a very good tandem, and at least in terms of stuff. Maybe the numbers don't bear it out, but they're really impressive. Gleyber Torres with a pretty bad at-bat, as he could have walked a couple of times and swings at pitches out of the zone. Rice ground out, LeMahieu fly out in the bottom of the ninth. Alexis Diaz, the brother of Edwin, comes on and makes very quick order. He gets him out quickly. Grisham strike out, Wells fly out, Volpe pop out, and the Reds take game one. Let's go to game two. And look, all these games provide similar scripts. They really do, in more ways than one. But yeah, game two, Carlos Rodon on the mound for the Yanks. And I believe, and it was the lefty Andrew Abbott for the Reds. Abbott, pretty good young pitcher. Doesn't really have like swing and miss stuff, but he's, I think there's high hopes for him. He goes 6 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 2 Ks. So a pretty bad walk to strikeout ratio, but hey, limits the damage, only lets 3 hits, and his ERA is 3.28. So a good job by Abbott, the lefty. And we know Yankees struggle versus lefties, but really at this point they're struggling versus anyone. But Rodon loses, drops to 9-6, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, and he lasts 2 homers. And the home run ball is killing Rodon. He gives up a lot of them. And so while the lack of hits, the strikeouts, like some good stuff here, but not good enough. And with the Yankee offense going where they're going, you're gonna have a tough time winning. And you look at this lineup, J.D. Davis cleaning up is a joke. He's been bad since he's been a Yankee. Jahmai Jones DHing. Although to be fair, like he hasn't even been that bad. I know Jahmai Jones is no answer, really shouldn't be on the roster, but he actually, in comparison, hasn't really been so awful. And versus lefties, he holds his own, but I feel like I'm giving him too much credit. So let's go to the second, and it's that home run ball. Marte, his first homer of the season, 2-run shot down the left field line, gives the Reds a 2-0 lead. Rodon does settle in for a bit. There was an opportunity for J.D. Davis, second and third, 2 out in the third, but broken bat play, and De La Cruz makes the out. And so now we go to the fifth, and Stuart Fairchild homers off of Rodon. His 5th homer of the season makes it 3-0 Reds. Let's go to the 6th. Michael Tonkin comes on. Rodon was upset for being taken out, but you had to. And Tonkin, who's been very, very good as a Yankee, he goes 1 2/3 scoreless innings. And so we go to the 7th, and this is where the Yankees get going. Jahmai Jones doubles off of Abbott, and that would be all for him. So Fernando Cruz comes on. Austin Wells pinch hits for Drino and walks. And then Anthony Volpe, who has been bad. This was his one nice moment of the series. It's a 2-run double for Volpe. So all of a sudden it's 3-2. They've again, back-to-back nights in the 7th inning, cut the lead to 1. And to make things better for the Yankees, wild pitch moves Volpe over to third, then Soto walks. So you're set up. First and third, 1 out for Judge. And I'm thinking they might pitch around Judge. They might walk Judge. What ends up happening? He hits the ball hard. But it's a 5-4-3 double play. And that's kind of where you throw your hands up. It's like, what can you even do? Like there, it's kind of like, things are going wrong. And this is a double play team. They are built for the double play. This is a thing that we've seen from the Yankees in recent years, and it's very, very prevalent this year. 8th inning, Tommy Kahnle with a 1-2-3 inning. In the 8th, Lucas Sims allows a leadoff walk. Ben Rice is a pinch hitter, walks, but then Gleyber grounds out. Not a great job by Gleyber. Verdugo pops out. LeMahieu single, and LeMahieu hadn't really done much, but he does single there. Trent Grisham as a pinch hitter versus former Yankee Justin Wilson, who comes on lefty-lefty. Pretty poor at-bat by Grisham, who strikes out. 9th inning, Clay Holmes is able to get a 1-2-3 inning, actually struck out the side. Looked pretty good there. Then Alexis Diaz comes on, and here's where Austin Wells walks. Really nice at-bat by Wells, too. He's looking better and better. But then Anthony Volpe, and mind you, Diaz is a guy that walks a lot of hitters, and he just walked Wells, and it's a 1-0 count to Volpe. Volpe swings at a really, really low pitch. Would have been 2-0 easily if he takes it. And he tries to pull it, and it's a soft but tailor-made 6-4-3 double play. Really bad job by Anthony Volpe. And you know what? There were some that were saying that maybe Volpe should have bunted. I can't completely go against that. Like, I kind of agreed with him, like, swinging away in the thought that he's fat, like, where a double play is worst-case scenario, and you hope to not get it, and that's exactly what happened. So But I can understand even before that bad thinking, all right, like Volpe's been struggling. This way you guarantee yourself getting Judge up to bat. And so now he hits a double play, and Soto flies out. We never see Judge get up there, and the Reds win the series at that point. They win 3-2, win the series. And so now we go to game 3. And as I said before, Mariners mounting a little bit of a rally here. So, a lot of time left in that Orioles-Mariners game currently. But yeah, where it looked like before the Orioles were going to maybe extend their 2-0 lead, it's actually 2-1. First and second no out for the Mariners in the bottom of the 5th. But I digress. Okay, so the Reds going for the sweep, and they would get it. And so like I said, this would be the Yankees' first time being swept in a 3-game series all season. It was not, all these streaks are coming to an end. And really, a lot of this, it really feels like 2022. Of course, it's not exact. There are differences, some better, some worse. And really, 2022, they were out of control good. Like, they were better than this team. Although, with having Juan Soto on this team, like, you feel better about the potential prospects of this team. But look, there are a lot of holes all over the team. So, I don't know. But anyway, Volpe is moved down to the 6th spot. And I agree with that. Give Ben Rice a shot at leadoff. Let's see how it goes. And he did homer in this game. It wasn't the best game for Ben Rice, to be honest. Like, he didn't walk. He had 2 strikeouts, and his bread and butter has been a really good walk-to-strikeout ratio. So he didn't exactly do the things that you would want for a leadoff hitter to do. But I'm perfectly fine with just this Red Sox series, ride it out. See how he does in the leadoff spot. So, for the Reds, and this makes matters worse, former Yankee Frankie Montas was on the mound, and Montas gets the win. He hasn't been pitching that well this year. He improves to 4-6. He goes 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks, and 2 homers. So he had actually had a no-hitter for 3 2/3 innings. He was scoreless through 4. It wasn't a great outing for him. He wasn't overly dominant, but he gets the win. And then Marcus Stroman, the home run ball hurts him. And especially Yankee Stadium. His ERA, I think, is a lot worse at the stadium than on the road. But it's not like a Nestor Cortez situation. It's not like a drastic Nestor thing. It's the home run ball specifically that has tortured him, because in a lot of ways, he's getting a lot more strikeouts at home. There's actually some things that are better, but the home runs is elevating that ERA so much. And so he goes 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and those 3 home runs allowed. So they just can't find a good start. It's been really hard to come by. So, yeah. Anyway, LeMahieu on the bench in this one, more of a lefty-looking lineup against Montas. First inning, Juan Soto is robbed. Maybe of a home run, at least of an extra base hit by Will Benson. Then in the second, Nick Martini homers off of Stroman. His 5th homer of the year gives the Reds a 1-0 lead. Then in the third, Jonathan India homers. His 6th homer of the year gives the Reds a 2-0 lead. And then, like I said, Yankees break up the no-hitter on a Verdugo double. So Verdugo, who's been really ice cold, does get 3 hits, including 2 doubles in this game. So maybe, just maybe, that gets him going into this Red Sox series against his former team. It all comes full circle. That's kind of where the struggles began after that great first game. Maybe now he snaps back into it. The Yankees really need him. But yeah, Volpe ends up flying out in a spot where it was 1st and 2nd, 2 out. Then the 5th inning. And what was so unfortunate in this game is that the Yankees just kept it close. They had no Cruz or Diaz available. But unfortunately, a couple of big hits for the Reds in the 5th and 7th inning. So what happens is 1st and 2nd, 2 out, a 3-run homer for Spencer Steer, his 11th homer of the year. It was a Yankee Stadium porch job, but hey, they all count the same. And the Reds take a 5-0 lead. Then the 5th, Yankees start to get things going. Austin Wells homers, and he's been good lately, his 4th homer of the year. And actually might have been for Wells. I'm trying to think. I feel like that might have been his first Yankee. It was either his 1st or 2nd Yankee Stadium home run of the year. I can't really remember another one this year, which is kind of crazy. And then Ben Rice with 2 outs, his 1st career home run. Good for Ben Rice. I like what I've seen from him and hope that he can keep it going. So that makes it 5-2. And then Judge actually comes up after a sort of walk and grounds out. Rough game for Aaron Judge, honestly, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. So, look, he's entitled. But just, saying it how it is, Judge not able to get it done today. But Tim Hill comes on for Stroman, and Hill pitches a 1-2-3-6. Then in the bottom of the 6th, leadoff double for Verdugo. Montas is out of the game. They bring on Nick Martinez. Torres lines out and gets Verdugo over to 3rd. But then again, Anthony Volpe with just a poor at bat where it's a 2-1 count. It's a ball low, and he tries to pull it. It's a soft grounder to De La Cruz, and they throw Verdugo out at home. Again, really disappointing as far as Anthony Volpe is concerned. Batting average down to 253, OPS down to 687. And then Wells lines out. So they could have cut it to 1, but instead they remain. They could have cut it to 2, and instead they're down 3. And then the 7th, the floodgates open. It's a combination of Tim Hill and Jake Cousins. Jake Cousins comes on to replace Hill, 2-on, 2-out. He walks Spencer Steer, and then first pitch, bases clearing triple for Jake Fraley off of Jake Cousins. Makes it 8-2 Reds. In the 7th, Yankees don't go away. 1-out double for Trent Grisham, and then a 2-run homer for Juan Soto off of Nick Martinez. Makes it 8-4. Soto's 21st homer of the year. Then in the 8th, it would be Cousins throwing a 1-2-3. Justin Wilson, the former Yank, as I'd said previously, comes on. Allows the single of Verdugo, but then Glaber grounds out, Volpe line out, Wells pop out. Caleb Ferguson pitches a scoreless 9th, although in the middle of that, on a single by Candelario, really bad play by Trent Grisham, just laziness and kind of not paying attention, kind of comes in slowly on what was a single, and he advances to second on an error by Grisham, just a kind of an ugly job there. And then the lefty Sam Moll comes on, LeMahieu pinch hits for Cabrera, soft line out, and then J.D. Davis strikes out looking as well as Ben Rice. And there's your sweep. There is your red sweep. And yeah, just really embarrassing stuff for the Yankees. Now the Red Sox come to town. A Red Sox team. Let's see, how far behind are they from the Yankees? Let's just see this for a second. 5.5 games. Not that much. And only 4 on the loss side. Like, it's kind of crazy. You can't discount, like, that part of it. Let's say the Red Sox were to somehow sweep the Yanks. Like, that would be, like, all of a sudden, they would be right there behind the Yankees. So don't look now, but this is a very big series. There's just no doubt about it. So, Tanner Houck versus Nestor Cortez is going to be your game 1 starting pitchers. And Houck really got off to a very good start. I think he's been struggling a little bit lately. They did not see him in game 1. In the Fenway Park series. So now they get him. Nestor Cortez, this could be one of the best things for the Yankees because home Yankee Stadium Nestor is about as good as you're going to get options-wise for the Yankees. So that, you hope, is a good thing. And then Josh Winkowski will be on the bump for the Red Sox in game 2 against Garrett Cole. Winkowski, who I think... was he more in a relief role last year? Yeah, let's see his game logs. Winkowski, yeah, he's getting built up. So Winkowski, he was more of a reliever, but but the numbers are pretty good for him. So that won't be easy. Even though on paper, you look at that and you think advantage Yankees. I don't think that'll be that easy. And Cole working his way back. And then game 3 will be Sunday Night Baseball. Carter Crawford versus Luis Seal. Now, Carter Crawford pitched against the Yankees. I believe it was Sunday Night Baseball as well. That was Crawford versus Stroman, where the Red Sox ran wild against the Yankees. And now Heel, who had a decent start in game 1 at Fenway Park. The Yankees need to turn it around. This is a really big series. They need to turn it around against a Boston team that I think is right outside of the playoff picture right now. It's very close. No, actually, technically, they're like basically neck and neck. They're right there with the Royals. So, like, their Red Sox are 47-39 and very good on the road, 27-16. So, yeah, thoughts are not exactly high going into this series. And I'm not sure what's going to turn it around for this team. But, yeah, winless in the last 6 series, 1 win in their last 8 series, a really ugly sweep home against the Cincinnati Reds. And so now the Yankees record drops to 54-35. And we'll see what happens. But this All-Star break can't come soon enough. But yet you still have 3 series to go against the Red Sox at home. And then they'll finish out with a road trip against the Tampa Bay Rays and the AL East leading Baltimore Orioles.